If you're an online coach and your offer feels like a full-time job, this video is for you. And it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because you've been told that more always equals better. More calls, more access, more modules, more value. Here's the truth. You don't need a new offer. Okay. You don't need to offer more. You don't need more leads. You need a new delivery model. My name is Gavin McHale. I'm a business performance coach, and it's my job to help you make the money you deserve. So, burnout doesn't always come from bad clients. What I believe is that it comes from overbuilt offers, offers that pull your energy in way too many directions, and offers that have landed because of this belief that you think that it needs to be really hard to make this much money. I've worked with coaches doing 5K. I've worked with coaches doing 20K, 30K, even 50K, even 100K months who still feel trapped in their business because they're stuck tweaking offers, rescheduling calls, trying to micromanage results because they built something that's too complex to sustain. And I say that with love because I've done it too. In fact, I'm currently reworking a lot of things to make sure that I'm not rebuilding the exact same thing I did before. Okay. I used to think that I had to justify my price with more stuff, with more access, right? I kept stacking bonus trainings, more access, custom everything until I looked up one day and realized that this thing that I built to give me more freedom was actually taking away my freedom, right? The more money that I made, the more overwhelm I created. And that was the belief that I had. And it's the belief that a lot of us that came up in middle class, that we're told that hard work equals winning. We believe that we have to work really hard and we have to be overwhelmed if we're going to make this much money. The problem was this was leading me to not show up with very good energy. The results started tapering off and I just got tired and resentful. So let's break this down into what we can do instead so that we're not building another job in this business that we're hoping will create freedom for us. So number one is offer bloat versus offer depth. Okay. Most coaches think more features equals more value. But the truth is, depth of transformation is always going to beat the volume of delivery. Okay. When you bloat your offer with more stuff, especially nowadays where people already have access to all this stuff, you create scattered results, you create confusion, you create overwhelm in your clients, and you get stretched way too thin to be able to really deliver at the highest level. So nobody wins, and you're just left with this really heavy and stacked thing that nobody's actually using. So number two is scale your delivery. Don't necessarily scale your effort. Okay. Your offer, your infrastructure inside of your offer should work harder than you do, period. Okay. I want you to think of your delivery like software. So can you create consistent results without needing to be everywhere all at once? Okay. Again, this comes from the belief that we must be involved in everything. It must be overwhelming for us to be able to have this level of success. But I want to give you some examples. A clear curriculum or a clear path for clients to follow that they see right away is much more valuable than them asking you a bunch of questions and you answering 50 DMs a day from clients about where they need to go and what they need to do, right? Creating set touch points and check-ins and holding those boundaries is much more valuable than message me anytime, unlimited calls. Okay. And creating empowering frameworks, like I said, infrastructure that does the work for you is so much better than repeating yourself every week and on every call. Because what if they didn't even need a call to get the result? If you could just create a piece of infrastructure that solved it for them, and the next time they have that question, instead of jumping on a call, they see the piece of content or the piece of the framework or whatever it is that you built. Okay, and the final piece, the third piece here is less is more if you do it right. Okay, some of my most successful clients are running very, very lean offers. One clear path, one simple framework to get from A to Z. Okay, and their clients get better results. And it's not because it's easier. Like the stuff that a lot of my clients are getting their clients to do is really hard stuff, right? Fitness, nutrition, business coaching, that type of stuff. but it's clearer. It's simple. This doesn't mean that it's basic. It means that it's simple and easy to follow. Do this, then this, then this. It's like climbing the rungs of a ladder. And sometimes if things aren't clear, it can feel like you're trying to get them from the first rung to the fourth rung in one jump, and then they fall back down. Just let them climb the rungs one at a time, right? Simple is super, super scalable. So the question for you to ask today on today's call or on today's YouTube here is, what part of your offer feels like it's stealing your freedom, feels like it's becoming a bottleneck, and feels like it's creating overwhelm in your business? And this isn't going to be something that looks sexy. And it's probably not going to be something that like we put as front and center on our offer that makes people say yes. But like, what's actually draining you after someone says yes? So if someone enrolls in your program and you go, oh, crap, that means I have to onboard them, then you have an onboarding problem. And we've got to create a system. I talked about this with several clients of mine a few months back. Can you create a system that requires 1 or 2 clicks to onboard them? If you can do that, now we've removed a huge bottleneck in most coaches' businesses. Okay. So when you simplify your delivery, okay, you simplify your entire business. And when your delivery gets easier to run, your energy expands and you can focus on your zone of genius. You can focus on actually delivering what they need. Because when your energy expands that you have, everything else around it grows. Your retention, your client results, and of course, your freaking joy in the work that you do. Okay. So stop building offers that are built to impress people, but exhaust you. You have to like your offer. Build something that works for your clients and works for you, doesn't burn you out. You don't need to add more value and add more bells and whistles. You need to create clarity. You need to create simplicity, because clarity and simplicity scales easily. My name is Gavin McHale. If you liked this video, click like, click subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.